immediately after achieving political independence, I have thought that their duty is over. They need no longer. Now we are politically independent. But we must keep that independence of people of the country, people of financial independence, economic independence, social independence. We have not thought of it, and we have not been able to do as much as Tiger is required to do after achieving political independence. We must take about that we will fight for the achievement of political achievement of economic and social justice to all countrymen from
Thank you, Mr. Now, Saroj Jaywala, Lord of me, to address the meeting.
Mr. Chairman Agrawal-ji, the former Prime Minister, the former Chief Justice, and distinguished friends. It gives me great honor to be before you, and I have accepted this award with humility, and it gives me great pleasure to see so many young people. I think it is high time that India plays its mark in the globalization. The world is getting smaller and smaller, and as the Honorable Minister said, we need to have the higher standards so that the old Indian culture and the old Indian standards, which Shri Krishna and Gandhiji said, are followed everywhere. I have a small law practice in London, but I am pleased to say that even the very few people know that the present Prime Minister of India, Tony Blair, the only time his name appears in the law report is acting for Government of India. And therefore, India is recognized even there. I think India, the Indian mind is a very, very good mind, but it lacks intellectual discipline if we criticize ourselves. And if we learn from the West how to support each other and cooperate with each other. For there is one rule in Britain that before you do anything, there's great planning and there's great organization. And they all stand by each other. And I think we need to do that. And then India will again come back and play its part in the globalization of the world. Agrawal-ji, thank you very much for inviting me and giving me the honor. I'm very humble. I'm very honored to be with such distinguished people. I'm very honored to be with the Prime Minister. I'm always wondering whether he's former Prime Minister or the present Prime Minister, because the protocol, the international protocol is that once a Prime Minister is always referred to as the Prime Minister. That's protocol in most of the European countries, so perhaps it's a great honor to US Day our first time. We have on the dais Mr. Chauhan, and he's a great inspiration for all of us. And he's a great inspiration for all of us who left the country for various reasons, or for economic reasons, or to sort of show our skills abroad. That he had a very successful business in Germany, and I visited him. He employed over 5,000 people. Then one day he told me that he had decided to give all up and do something back for the country. And so he came back, he gave everything, and what a change it was. And I wish I could do that and follow in your footsteps, Mr. Chauhan. So thank you very much. Arishji, you have organized the seminar so well. Today we met the Prime Minister. It was again a great honor. And I'm very pleased to see that he looks so well and healthy. And we wish him all the very best for a long life. Thank you.
Mr. Ashok Chauhan, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, Chairman of Amity Group, to address us.
Honorable Sakyaji, Shri Jain Saab, and our Honorable Food Minister Shri Sinhamji, and my very beloved brother and friend Harish Agrawal-ji. I'll just take very short time, but I was thinking while sitting over here the biggest concern and the objective of the board is to look for justice for all. So all those who have spoken here, those who are present at dais, and those who are present here, I was thinking they are the extended arms of God to see that on this earth, justice for all happens. So I would say, Aditi, I always speak to my students the value of samskars, Indian heritage, and Indian traditions. By organizing this function in the memory of your late father Harishchandji, you have proven what big strength the sanskars have. We are remembering here today a noble soul who spread goodness in the world, and I think all those who have listened to the marvelous speeches of our very worthy people here, they will follow their footsteps and will be instrumental in changing the country and changing the whole world. I feel proud of all here, and Aditi, I must really congratulate you for organizing such a function which would be remembered not only for decades, for centuries, and it will be a ball rolling which will set a motion for making a better world, better humanity. Sarojji said some positive words about me because he knows my mission of life. There can be only one, to help the humanity, to show to the whole world that India is the best country, and I am firm believer, Aditi, you go on doing like that, and in 21st century we will show the part of the whole world. Thank you very much.
The Supreme Court of India to address us.
Honorable President of the Indian Council of Jurists, Honorable former Prime Minister Sri Devagowda, Honorable Mr. Justice Amadi, former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India, Mr. Harish Agrawal, who is at the helm of this organization, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today's subject, justice for all, has been very aptly discussed by Honorable Mr. Justice Amadi, taking the different stages in the judiciary and the erudite speeches of the former speakers have almost covered the entire gamut of this subject. And this was also the endeavor on the part of the National Judicial Academy, trying to find out means of reform to the civil justice system. And in course of that endeavor, we have come across certain ideas of which Justice Amadi has given a brief narration. Two ancient jurists had something to say on this subject, that is justice for all. The Roman jurist Alpian defined justice as perpetual endeavor to give everyone his due. Remember those days. Alpian was one of the ancient jurists in Rome. His idea was that justice must be an endeavor to give everyone his due. Justice attributed between individuals, question arises when there is a dispute between parties. But considered in the context of the society and the state as a whole, there is also the question of distributive justice. The state resources ought to be so distributed as to give equal benefit to everyone in the society. Dr. Ghatate has very lucidly enumerated the different rights in the Constitution of India, fundamental rights, directive principles, equality, fraternity, and also, along with this, we have to consider the efforts on the part of the judiciary to render justice, equal justice to all. Indeed, ancient society perhaps understood that it was not for the king alone to administer justice, but the people also must administer justice to themselves. In the same line, in modern jurisprudence, question is being asked if everyone in the society has a dispute with everyone else, would it be possible for the state or for the government to decide all these disputes? Perhaps the reply would be in the negative. This takes us to the ancient systems of panchayats. And in the tribal societies, even today, we find there are village councils serving their societies so long, and that too very well. A criminal case which takes a decade in the state courts are disposed of within half a day or a day in certain tribal societies. Chief Justice Chandrachud once stated that he saw with his own eyes in a village, Konoma in Nagaland, deciding a murder case within 2 hours. In course of our efforts in the Judicial Academy, we found that in countries like Australia, the question is being discussed that the state judicial machinery is gradually falling short of the people's need. What is the remedy? One suggestion is that one should take to increasingly to alternative dispute resolution systems.